Okay, I want to show my general technique for creating nice beaches using Water Plus and custom terrain geometry. So we have our custom terrain geometry like this. I created a series of meshes in the middle that are basically just a big underlying flat area that I've tiled a beach texture onto. Okay. And the reason I've done this is so that in a minute I can use a union boolean to subtract the difference between that beach texture and these side textures that will create a really nice seam, which in theory will not flicker. But in order to make water work on this, we needed to add a water layer on top of that, and that water layer needs to never overlap where it looks ugly. Like you can see right here, where it overlaps a little bit here, you can see along the edge. And we don't want that. Okay, so what I'm doing is, first off, I've taken this into Water Plus and I baked all of these surfaces. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is take the map for this one, and take this into Photoshop. Now, this white line here, the thick one, is going to be the terrain. We don't need to mess with that. It does a pretty good job of it. What we need is we need to affect the other one. And we also need to get rid of these borders here. If you'll notice, there's a border right there along the edge. So the first thing, grab that pink and wipe out that border. And then using a size 60 14% brush. Okay, so now we've wiped out that border. Once it's finished saving, you'll notice there's no more border there. That's what we want. Okay, so now we want to add along the edge here. We want to add this kind of terrain thing. We want to add a gradient that's going to be the foam on the water, and then it's going to blend into transparency so we can see the underlying geometry. So to do that, first we're going to grab a purple. And now, Water Plus uses each of the RGB channels for different things. What we're going to do is, purple is going to give us transparency. And so, I'm sorry, not transparency, it's going to give us foam. And then we're going to use yellow on top of that. I forget what it is. You can look up the values. What's going to happen is, the purple and the yellow is going to give us a nice foam that bleeds into a transparency. Okay. So we're just going to draw along this edge. And we're drawing along basically the inner edge facing the water. Okay, and we want to leave some of this white behind so we know where exactly our geometry is. This will make it easier to draw that yellow in a second. And we want to cross this area off here because I have some stuff over in this area that I want to kind of make the island go around it also. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to grab a yellow, and now we're going to trace along the center of that white line. Let me show you what that's going to look like first, though. This is going to give us this look once we finish the saving. Okay, there's our bleed in with foam. Okay, and we could probably match this over here if we wanted to. Make it look a little. You can spend a lot of time doing this for very little reward. Let's see. There we go. It's a little better. We'll fiddle with that more in a minute. And then we're going to grab our yellow and just going to go along the center of this line. And I'm trying to do this in just a few strokes so that I can have the whole thing instantly undoable if I want to. I want to go back and undo it and try it again. Keep it in the undo history in Photoshop. Okay, so we save that, and that's what it looks like. Okay, that's a little too much over there. So we'll grab purple again. Maybe grab a little pink. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, again, you can lose a lot of time tweaking this stuff. But if you have a technique, it will help greatly trying to figure out how you want stuff to be positioned. And there's the technique. Okay, so the result of this is when we fly our birdie over this at a distance, there it is. There's no interaction between the water and the background terrain, and that's exactly what we want. So the only thing left to do now is balloon out the terrain and the underlying texture, and we should have a really nice non-blinking kind of background. There you go.